Have you ever found yourself in a place so serene it almost feels otherworldly? A few years back, in the crisp embrace of early October, I took a break from the daily grind and embarked on a journey to a cabin nestled in the hills just outside my city. This Airbnb retreat, far removed from civilization, seemed perfect for a few days of camping. As I drove the winding roads, 2 hours stretched between me and the cabin. Upon arrival, the tranquil surroundings greeted me: no other cabins, no distant buildings, just the vast expanse of woods. The cabin, though lacking in extravagance, exuded a cozy, old-fashioned charm, a departure from my usual preferences, yet a welcome change for a vacation. The initial days passed in quiet relaxation. I spent my time outdoors, embracing the cold fall weather during the day and seeking solace by the fireplace during the chilly nights. However, on the 5th day, the urge to explore the wilderness beyond the cabin compelled me to venture out with my camping gear. Setting out with uncertainty about the duration of my camping expedition, perhaps 2 or 3 nights, I chose the trail that conveniently connected to the cabin. Walking for hours, the dense woods surrounded me until I stumbled upon a clearing. It felt right, a perfect spot to set up camp as night loomed. As darkness descended, I erected my tent and ignited a crackling fire. Clad in a heavy sweater and jacket, I savored a quick meal, anticipating a night of peaceful slumber. Yet, as the fire flickered, my gaze caught a mysterious figure navigating the dark woods. No flashlight, just an eerie silhouette fading into the distance. Questions swirled in my mind. Who could be wandering aimlessly in the woods at this hour? Should I be concerned? Ignoring my growing unease, I maintained vigilance for signs of their return. However, silence enveloped the clearing, broken only by the crackling of the diminishing fire. Just as I considered dismissing the sighting as a trick of the shadows, I heard footsteps approaching from the left. Panic set in as the unseen visitor neared my campsite. In the glow of the dying embers, I strained to see, but the figure remained obscured, silently passing by. With an unsettling feeling lingering, I disassembled my tent, packed my belongings, and retraced my steps to the trail. A sense of foreboding urged me to leave, my flashlight illuminating the trail ahead as I hastened back to the safety of the cabin. The stillness of the woods amplified the eerie atmosphere, but determination spurred me on. Returning to the cabin, I dismissed the incident as exhaustion-induced paranoia, succumbing to the comfort of the couch. Little did I know, the night held more in store. In the hazy embrace of sleep, I was jolted awake by an ominous sound, the scrape of wood against the cabin walls. Startled, I faced the back of the room, only to witness a man attempting to pry open a window. My heart raced as our eyes locked. In a swift motion, he retreated into the shadows of the woods. Adrenaline pumping, I gathered my belongings and hastily abandoned the cabin. Driving to a nearby town and seeking refuge in a hotel, I couldn't shake the unsettling thought: someone had followed me, lurking in the darkness, and their intentions remained a haunting mystery. Have you ever found yourself in a situation that sent shivers down your spine, making you question your own safety? Last fall, as the days grew colder and winter approached, I, a food delivery driver of 3 years, had an experience that still haunts my thoughts. It was close to 1 a.m., the night draped in a gentle snowfall, a precursor to the impending winter chill. Despite the late hour and the snow-laden streets, I continued my deliveries, one after another. The city was quiet, and I was one of the few cars braving the weather. Orders kept pouring in, each completion swiftly followed by a new request. As the clock approached the early hours of the morning, I accepted one last order. Little did I know, this delivery would unravel into a nightmarish encounter. The snowfall intensified, and fatigue began to set in. I picked up an order from McDonald's and, following the directions, set out to a house about 10 minutes away. However, annoyance gnawed at me. I hadn't considered the distance and direction of this delivery. The road I traveled, still untouched by plow trucks, led me away from the main area of town. Consulting the map, I realized I was navigating an unusual route, an unfamiliar path seemingly devoid of residential structures. With only street lights and trees for company, I approached a turn that revealed a small street, inconspicuous and lined with trees. Descending further, I noticed a few long driveways leading to faint lights in the distant woods. It was an eerie scene, the snow-clad landscape hiding the secrets of the forest. My unease grew as I neared the specified driveway, realizing it looked no different from the others. The house, medium-sized and weathered, stood silently amidst the snow-covered wilderness. Parking in front of the house, I retrieved the food and trudged through thickening snow to the porch. As I knocked, the door swung open abruptly, revealing a large man in a winter jacket. His pallid face suggested exposure to the biting cold. Awkwardly, I presented the food, expecting a simple exchange. Yet, the man, without a word, motioned toward the interior, a demand that hung in the air. Uncertainty crept in, a gut feeling warning me against entering. Ignoring the odd request, I insisted on a quick handover. Tension filled the air as the man's expression soured, and with an abrupt motion, he slammed the door shut. Stunned, I placed the bag on the porch, intent on leaving swiftly. However, as I retraced my steps, a muffled sound from the rear of the house caught my attention. Unease settled in as I quickened my pace, reaching my car just in time to hear something unsettling from behind, perhaps a back door opening, the sound too distant to decipher. Suddenly on edge, I started the car and, as I glanced up, saw the man emerging from the side of his house, hastening toward me. Panic set in when I noticed an object in his hands, vaguely resembling rope but with an indistinguishable addition. Adrenaline surged as I reversed, eager to escape the growing threat. The man, mere feet away, halted as my car finally gripped the road. I backed out of the driveway, the man lingering in the shadows, disappearing into the dark as I sped away. The encounter left me shaken and bewildered, haunted by the unknown intentions of that night. To this day, I remain vigilant during food deliveries, adopting a cautious approach. Knocking on doors is a risk I seldom take. Instead, I leave the food on the porch, an unsettling memory reminding me that had I stayed longer that night or stepped inside the house, the outcome might have been unimaginable. Have you ever experienced a night that transformed from the ordinary to the chillingly bizarre? It was just a couple of days before Halloween, and with a few days off work ahead, I looked forward to staying up late and relishing the eerie ambience of the night. Little did I know, this night would unfold into a haunting tale. After a shift at work, I treated myself to some fast food on the way home. Settling onto the couch, I indulged in a Netflix binge. About 30 minutes into the show, a mundane evening took a turn when I decided to dispose of the remaining food. However, as I turned around in the kitchen, a sight froze me in place. Someone standing in my backyard, gazing at my house. My backyard, small and fenced, offered no easy access for a stranger. Alarmed, I illuminated the scene with the back porch light, sliding the door open. "What are you doing?" I yelled, the stranger's face now visible. A young man, likely in his 20s, met my gaze with tired and disconcertingly creepy eyes. Unresponsive to my inquiry, he nonchalantly walked toward the gate. Ensuring he left, I observed from my front window as he disappeared down the street. Puzzled, I ventured into my backyard, standing in the same spot he had. To my bewilderment, there was nothing noteworthy to capture his attention. Dismissing the odd encounter, I returned inside, attempting to erase the unsettling image from my mind. Pouring a drink, I resumed watching the show, only to be interrupted by subtle footsteps and a thud against my house. Racing to the kitchen, I discovered the same man now aggressively attempting to force my back door open. Fear gripped me as I clutched the handle, locking eyes with the enraged intruder. Dialing the police, I watched in terror as he ceased his assault, fixing his crazed gaze on me through the glass door. Moments later, he retreated to the gate, but this time, he lingered, concealed on the side of the house, as if hiding. Constantly moving between windows, I anxiously awaited the arrival of the police, hoping the threat would dissipate. As the minutes passed in silence, the police car finally arrived. Abruptly, footsteps echoed from the side of the house, sprinting back to the door, attempting another break-in. The police, quick to respond, apprehended him after a brief struggle. Questioning revealed his heavy intoxication, confirmed by subsequent tests. Even in sobriety, the man provided no coherent explanation for his actions. A mixture of confusion and fear enveloped me. Was he merely a disturbed individual, or did his eyes betray a motive yet undisclosed? Despite a brief imprisonment due to his intoxicated state, uncertainty lingers, leaving me to wonder if he harbors intentions of returning for reasons unknown.